Lois I. Thompson slammed the door of his sleek black SUV, the echo reverberating through the quiet suburban street like a gunshot. His hands trembled as he gripped the steering wheel, replaying the scene in his mind. His father's face twisting in rage, the crystal glass shattering against the wall, and the words that cut deeper than any scalpel. "You're no son of mine if this is who you are." It was supposed to be a simple family dinner, but one overheard phone call had unraveled everything, exposing the secret he'd buried for years. In the bustling emergency room of St. Mary's Hospital in Chicago, Lois I. had always been the picture of control. At 32, he was a rising star in cardiology, known for his steady hands and unflinching decisions under pressure. Patients trusted him with their lives, colleagues admired his precision, but no one knew the storm raging inside. Growing up in a conservative Midwest family, where his father, a retired military officer, preached traditional values and his mother hosted church bake sales, Lois I. had learned early to hide his truth. Being gay wasn't an option. It was a defect to be corrected, or so he'd been taught. That night, the call had come from Jamie, his partner of 2 years. Jamie Rivera, the charismatic chef who owned a trendy fusion restaurant downtown, had whispered sweet nothings about their weekend getaway. But Lois I.'s sister, eavesdropping from the hallway, had pieced it together. By dessert, the confrontation erupted. "Is it true?" his father bellowed. "Are you one of them?" The denial stuck in Lois I.'s throat, but the truth spilled out in fragments, fueled by years of suppression. His mother's tears, his sister's accusatory glare. It all blurred into a nightmare. Driving aimlessly through the rain-slicked streets, Lois I. pulled over near Millennium Park. The city lights reflected off the puddles, mocking his isolation. He thought of Jamie, waiting at their shared apartment with takeout and a bottle of wine, oblivious to the chaos. Jamie, with his easy laugh and unapologetic openness, had grown up in a supportive Latino family in New York before moving to Chicago for culinary school. He wore his identity like a badge of honor, attending pride events and advocating for LGBTQ rights at his restaurant. "Why hide, Lois I?" he'd ask gently. "Love isn't a secret weapon." But for Lois I. it was. His family's expectations weighed like an anchor. The only son, destined to carry on the Thompson name, marry well, produce heirs. His father had already introduced him to eligible women from their social circle, hinting at partnerships that could boost his career. Coming out meant risking it all: disinheritance, ostracism, perhaps even professional repercussions in a field where conservative donors funded hospital wings. As dawn broke, Lois I. returned home. Jamie was asleep on the couch, the TV flickering with a muted cooking show. Lois I. knelt beside him, brushing a strand of dark hair from his forehead. "We need to talk," he whispered, his voice cracking. Jamie stirred, his brown eyes opening with concern. "What happened, babe?" Over coffee, Lois I. recounted the disaster. Jamie listened, his face hardening. "So what now? Are you going to deny us? Pretend I'm just a roommate?" The words stung, but Lois I. shook his head. "No, but I can't lose them either. Maybe if I explain." Jamie stood abruptly, pacing the kitchen. "Explain what? That love is conditional?" "Lois I. I've been patient, but this is killing you. And us. My family knows about you. They love you. Why can't yours?" The argument escalated, voices rising as old frustrations surfaced. Jamie accused Lois I. of cowardice. Lois I. fired back about cultural differences and the pressure of his profession. "You think it's easy being the gay doctor in a hospital full of judgmental eyes? One wrong move and my career tanks." By midday, they reached a fragile truce. Jamie suggested therapy. Lois I. agreed, but inwardly he plotted damage control. He'd call his parents, downplay the relationship as a phase by time. But deep down he knew it was a lie, a betrayal of Jamie and himself. Days turned into weeks of tense silence from his family. At work, Lois I. threw himself into cases, saving a young man from a heart attack, only to feel his own chest tighten with anxiety. Rumors trickled in. His father had confided in church friends, painting Lois I. as confused, in need of prayer. The societal whispers began, subtle but piercing. Then came the invitation. His sister's wedding in 3 months. You're still family, the note read, but the undertone was clear: behave or else. Loisai RSVP'd yes, with Jamie as his +1, a bold move that shocked even him. This is our chance, he told Jamie, to show them we're real. Jamie hesitated. And if they reject us? What then? Loisai pulled him close. Then we fight. Together. As preparations unfolded, cracks appeared. Loisai's mother called, pleading for discretion. Don't make a scene, dear. Your father. He's struggling. Loisai promised, but resentment brewed. Why must he shrink to fit their world? Meanwhile, Jamie faced his own demons. His restaurant thrived, but a homophobic review online stung. Great food, but the owner's lifestyle? Not family-friendly. It reminded him of past rejections. Being disinvited from school events as a teen, losing friends. I won't hide for anyone, he told Loisai firmly. The wedding approached like a storm. Loisai practiced speeches in the mirror, imagining unity. But fate had other plans. On the eve, his best friend from med school, Mark, pulled him aside at the rehearsal dinner. Dude, your dad asked me to talk to you. He thinks this Jamie guy is influencing you badly. Maybe take a break. Betrayal hit like a punch. Mark, who knew Loisai's secret for years, now sided with the opposition. You're supposed to be my friend, Loisai hissed. I am, but family comes first. That night, alone in the hotel room while Jamie visited relatives, Loisai questioned everything. Was love worth this war? The internal conflict raged, loyalty to blood versus authenticity. He chose to confront his father the next morning, but the wedding day dawned with unforeseen drama. The church bells tolled ominously as Loisai adjusted his tie in the mirror, his reflection a mask of composure hiding the turmoil beneath. Jamie stood behind him, buttoning his shirt with gentle hands. You sure about this? We can bail. But Loisai shook his head, determination stealing his resolve. No running. Not anymore. The ceremony was a whirlwind of white lace and forced smiles. His sister, Emily, glowed in her gown, but her eyes darted to Loisai with unspoken warnings. As vows were exchanged, Loisai felt Jamie's hand squeeze his, a silent anchor. Yet, during the reception at the grand ballroom, tension simmered. His father, Colonel Thompson, cornered him by the bar. We need to talk, son. The word son felt like a concession, but the colonel's eyes were hard. This phase, it's embarrassing the family. Think of your career. It's not a phase, Dad. Jamie is my partner. I love him. The colonel's face reddened. Love? That's not love. That's confusion. Your mother and I raised you better. Jamie overheard, stepping in. With all due respect, sir, love doesn't fit your mold. It just is. The confrontation drew stares. Emily pulled Loisai aside, whispering furiously. Why bring him here? You're ruining my day. I'm not hiding anymore, Loisai retorted, his voice steady despite the hurt. As toasts began, Mark took the mic unexpectedly. To Emily and Tom, may your love be as traditional and strong as our family's values. The dig was subtle, but the room murmured. Loisai's blood boiled. This was sabotage. Later, dancing with Jamie under judgmental eyes, Loisai whispered, I'm sorry. Jamie smiled sadly. For what? Being you. But the night peaked in disaster. Overheard in the restroom. His uncle joking about fixing Loisai with therapy camps. Enraged, Loisai stormed out, confronting his father publicly. If you can't accept me, then disown me now. The room fell silent. His mother wept. Guests shifted uncomfortably. The colonel stood rigid. Fine, you're out. No more support, no inheritance. You're dead to us. Jamie grabbed Loisai's arm. Let's go. They left amid whispers, the drive home a blur of tears and recriminations. In the following weeks, the fallout was brutal. Loisai's parents cut off contact. His sister blocked him. At the hospital, whispers spread. Donors questioned his stability. A promotion he'd slipped away, given to a straight colleague. Jamie supported him, but strains emerged. You chose me over them. That's huge, but are you regretting it? No. Loisai lied, though doubts gnawed. Nights were sleepless, filled with what-ifs. He sought therapy, unpacking childhood repressions. The bullying at school, the prayers to change. The therapist urged honesty, but societal pressures loomed. News of anti-gay bills in nearby states, hate crimes rising. Jamie, meanwhile, faced backlash at his restaurant. Reservations dipped after a viral post from a wedding guest labeling it queer-owned and pushy. He considered selling, but Loisai encouraged resilience. We've come this far. A turning point came via an unexpected ally. Loisai's cousin, Sarah, who reached out secretly. Not everyone agrees with Uncle Bob. I support you. Her words sparked hope, but also highlighted the divide. As months passed, Loisai volunteered at an LGBTQ clinic, finding purpose in helping others like him. Teens disowned, adults in denial. It healed some wounds, but the void from his family ached. Then, betrayal struck closer. Mark, guilt-ridden, confessed, "Your dad paid me to spy on you." Report back about Jamie. The revelation shattered Loisai. How could you? We were friends. I needed the money, Mark admitted. Med school debt. Loisai cut ties, the loss compounding his isolation. Jamie comforted him, but tensions rose. Everyone's turning on us. Is this worth it? In a heated argument, Jamie snapped, Maybe you're not ready for this life. Go back to hiding. Hurt? Loisai stormed out, wandering Chicago's streets. He ended up at a bar, where a stranger flirted, tempting escape. But thoughts of Jamie pulled him back. Returning home, he found Jamie packing. If you want out, say it. I don't, Loisai cried. I'm scared, but I choose you. They reconciled, vowing to rebuild. Loisai applied for jobs elsewhere, considering a move to a more accepting city like San Francisco. But fate intervened. A call from his mother. Your father had a heart attack. Come home. Rushing to the hospital, Loisai faced his family again. The colonel lay pale, monitors beeping. Son, he whispered weakly. In the waiting room, emotions clashed. Emily accused, This is your fault, the stress you caused. No, Loisai countered. It's years of hate. His mother mediated. We all need to talk. As the colonel recovered, tentative dialogues began. Loisai shared his pain. His father admitted fears rooted in his own repressed past. A brother lost to AIDS, shunned by society. Understanding dawned, but trust was fragile. Jamie joined, his presence a test. I love your son, he said simply. The colonel nodded slowly. Give me time. Back in Chicago, Loisai reflected on the costs. Lost friendships, career setbacks, emotional scars. But gains too: authenticity, deeper love. Yet shadows lingered. A moral dilemma arose when a patient, a young gay man, faced similar family rejection. Loisai advised coming out, but the boy hesitated, fearing loss. It mirrored Loisai's journey, forcing him to question. Had he chosen right? The sterile hum of the hospital corridor amplified Loisai's racing thoughts as he paced outside his father's room. Jamie sat nearby, offering quiet support, but the air was thick with unresolved tension. What if he blames me again? Loisai murmured. Jamie squeezed his hand. Then we walk away stronger. Inside, the colonel looked frail, tubes snaking from his arms. Loisai, he rasped. I was wrong. Seeing you here, despite everything. Tears welled in Loisai's eyes. Dad, I never wanted this. The conversation unfolded haltingly. The colonel confessed his rigid worldview stemmed from military life and societal norms of the 80s. I thought protecting you meant making you like me. Loisai shared his loneliness, the years of pretending. His mother listened, her face etched with regret. We failed you, honey. Emily hovered, defensive. But what about our family image? The church? That's the problem, Loisai said firmly. Image over people. Jamie interjected gently. Families evolve. Or they break. The visit ended with uneasy promises to try. Back home, Loisai felt a mix of relief and skepticism. Is this real change? Or just fear of death? Jamie pondered. Give it a shot, but protect yourself. As weeks progressed, reconciliation attempts faltered. Phone calls were awkward. Visits rare. Loisai's father suggested counseling to understand his lifestyle, which felt like backhanded acceptance. Frustrated, Loisai declined. It's not a choice to fix. Professionally, Loisai hit a wall. A conservative board member at the hospital questioned his personal distractions, delaying his research grant. Colleagues distanced themselves, fearing association. It's politics, his mentor advised. Lay low. But laying low meant regressing. Jamie noticed Loisai's withdrawal. You're pulling away. Talk to me. In a vulnerable moment, Loisai admitted, I wonder if coming out was a mistake, the pain it's caused. Jamie recoiled. To who? Us. Or your ego? The fight escalated, unearthing insecurities. Jamie revealed his own fears. I left New York for you, built a life here. If you regret us. I don't regret you, Loisai insisted. Just the fallout. Reconciliation came through action. They attended a pride event together, Loisai's first public one. Surrounded by celebration, he felt liberated, but a heckler's slur reminded him of dangers. Then, a deeper betrayal surfaced. Sarah, the supportive cousin, confessed she'd leaked details to the family, hoping to force resolution. I thought it'd help, she sobbed. Loisai felt violated. You played God with my life. Cutting her off, he spiraled into doubt. Therapy sessions intensified, exploring moral quandaries. Was forgiveness obligatory? Did societal progress justify personal sacrifice? Jamie faced parallel struggles. His restaurant suffered a boycott from local conservatives, sales plummeting. We might have to close, he told Loisai grimly. Desperate, Jamie considered compromising, removing pride flags, toning down advocacy. For survival, Loisai opposed. That's surrendering. We've paid too much to back down. In a pivotal decision, they hosted a fundraiser for LGBTQ youth, turning adversity into activism. Media coverage followed, painting them as resilient. Donations poured in, saving the restaurant. But it attracted threats, anonymous calls, vandalism. One night, a brick shattered their window with a hateful note. Police dismissed it as minor, but Loisai panicked. This is the price. Is it worth it? Jamie, bandaging a cut, replied, yes, because hiding costs more your soul. Emboldened, Loisai confronted the hospital board, demanding fair treatment. Discriminate, and I'll sue. Backed by allies, he secured the grant but lost some respect. Family ties strained further. At a holiday gathering, his father relapsed into old rhetoric. I accept you, but not parading it. Loisai walked out. Acceptance isn't conditional. The schism deepened. His mother chose sides, staying with the colonel. Emily distanced herself completely. In solitude, Loisai questioned ethics. Had he abandoned duty to family? Or was self-preservation moral? Jamie proposed moving. San Francisco, better opportunities, acceptance. Loisai hesitated. Running away? No, Jamie said. Choosing happiness. As they packed, a final twist. Mark reappeared, apologetic, offering insider info on a job in California. Make amends, he pleaded. Loisai forgave tentatively, but trust was scarred. En route to the new life, Loisai reflected on damages. Fractured bonds, career hurdles, emotional tolls. Yet, awakenings to self-acceptance, community strength. In San Francisco, they settled into a vibrant neighborhood. Loisai joined a progressive clinic. Jamie opened a new eatery. Freedom breathed new life into their relationship. But old wounds festered. A call from his mother. Your father's worsening. He wants to see you. Loisai debated. Go and risk regression? Stay and live with guilt? He chose to go, Jamie by his side. At the bedside, the colonel whispered, "I'm proud of your courage." Tears flowed. "I love you, Dad." Reconciliation bloomed slowly, built on honesty. Emily thawed, attending their housewarming virtually. Yet not all healed. Societal battles continued, protests against discrimination, personal advocacy. Loisai pondered the journey's cost. Was the pain justified for truth? The Golden Gate Bridge loomed in the distance as Loisai and Jamie walked hand in hand along the foggy San Francisco Bay, the salty air a balm to their weary souls. It had been 6 months since the move, and the city's embrace felt like a rebirth. Yet shadows of Chicago lingered. "Do you miss it?" Jamie asked, his voice soft against the crashing waves. "Sometimes," Loisai admitted. "The hospital, the pace, but not the hiding." Their new life buzzed with possibility. Loisai's clinic specialized in LGBTQ health, where he counseled patients on coming out, drawing from his scars. Jamie's restaurant, Rivera Fusion, thrived in the diverse Castro district, hosting events that celebrated identity. They married quietly in a courthouse ceremony, rings symbolizing hard-won commitment. But peace was fleeting. News from home. His father's health declined further, complicated by regret-fueled depression. "Come back," his mother pleaded in calls. "He needs you." Loisai wrestled with the decision. Returning meant facing unresolved conflicts, potential rejection anew. "What if it's a trap?" he confided in Jamie. "Then we face it together," Jamie replied, ever the optimist. They flew back, the plane ride a cauldron of anxiety. At the family home, the colonel was a shell of his former self, bedridden. "Son," he croaked, "I was blind. Forgive an old fool." Loisai sat, emotions churning. "Forgiveness isn't easy, Dad. The hurt you caused. I know, but seeing you happy, with Jamie, it opened my eyes." Jamie waited outside, respecting the moment. Later he joined, sharing stories of their life. The colonel listened, chuckling weakly at Jamie's kitchen tales. "You make him smile. That's something." Emily arrived, arms crossed. "This doesn't erase everything." "No," Loisai agreed, "but it's a start." The visit unearthed buried resentments. Over dinner, arguments flared about past decisions. "You chose strangers over blood," Emily accused. "Love isn't blood exclusive," Loisai countered. "And Jamie's family now." His mother mediated, revealing her own evolution, joining a PFLAG group advocating quietly. "I was wrong too." As they departed, promises hung in the air, visits, calls. But back in San Francisco, doubt crept in. Loisai's therapy delved deeper. Was reconciliation genuine or manipulation? Professionally, challenges persisted. A high-profile case at the clinic involved a politician's son, outed against his will, sparking media frenzy. Loisai defended privacy, but backlash ensued. Protests outside, threats online. Jamie worried. "This activism, it's dangerous. But necessary," Loisai insisted. "For kids like I was." A moral crossroads emerged when a colleague proposed bending ethics, falsifying records to protect a vulnerable patient from abusive parents. "It's for the greater good," she argued. Loisai refused. "Integrity matters. We fight legally." The choice cost alliances but earned respect. Jamie admired it, yet tensions rose when his own past resurfaced. An ex-boyfriend from New York contacted him, stirring old flames. "Just friends," Jamie assured, but Loisai's insecurities flared. "Why now?" Loisai demanded. "Loneliness," Jamie admitted. "But you're my choice." The near-miss strengthened them, but highlighted vulnerabilities. Societal pressures amplified. A Supreme Court ruling on gay rights teetered. Rallies turned violent. In a heated debate at a community meeting, Loisai spoke out, his voice trembling. "We've paid dearly for authenticity, lost families, jobs, safety. But silence costs more." Applause followed, but exhaustion set in. Jamie suggested a break, a vacation to recharge. On a Hawaiian beach, they reflected. "We've sacrificed so much," Loisai said. "Friends betrayed, families fractured. But we've gained truth," Jamie replied. "And each other." Returning invigorated, they faced a final trial. Mark called, desperate. Fired for whistleblowing on corruption, he sought help. "After what I did." Loisai hesitated. Forgiveness or justice? He chose aid, arranging a job referral. Everyone deserves a second chance. The act healed old wounds, but sparked internal conflict. Had he compromised principles? Family progress continued unevenly. His father passed peacefully months later, his last words, "Live free, son." The funeral was bittersweet. Emily embraced Loisai. "He changed because of you." Mourning, Loisai questioned the ripple effects. His actions inspired Sarah to come out, but alienated others. Back home, Jamie proposed adopting a family of their own. "We've beaten odds. Let's build." Loisai agreed, the process arduous, facing biases. Gay parents? Unfit. Some argued. They persevered, approved finally. As they awaited their child, Loisai pondered the journey's ethics. Sacrifices for love, right or reckless. The high crescendoed with a public speaking invite. Loisai shared their story, evoking tears and debates. Love demands courage, but at what cost? Audience questions probed. Was betraying family traditions worth it? Loisai's answer, yes, because authenticity liberates. Yet privately, doubts lingered. The adoption agency's call came on a crisp autumn morning, shattering the quiet routine of Loisai and Jamie's life. "Congratulations, gentlemen. You're approved for little Mateo." Joy exploded, hugs, tears, plans for the nursery. But beneath the elation, Loisai felt the weight of impending responsibility. "Are we ready? With our history?" Jamie grinned. "We've survived worse. This is our victory." Mateo arrived, a bundle of energy with wide eyes and infectious laughter. Parenting thrust them into new challenges. Sleepless nights, societal stares. At the park, whispers followed. "Two dads? Poor kid." Loisai bristled, but Jamie diffused with humor. "Lucky kid, double the love." Family integration tested limits. Emily visited, warming to Mateo. "He's adorable," but subtle judgments slipped. "Make sure he has female influences." Loisai bit back retorts, prioritizing peace. His mother relocated nearby, seeking redemption. "I want to be grandma properly." The colonel's absence haunted, but his legacy evolved through stories Loisai shared with Mateo. Grandpa learned to love differently. Professionally, Loisai's advocacy grew. He published a book on LGBTQ mental health, drawing from personal turmoil. Reviews praised its raw honesty, but critics decried it as agenda-pushing. Sales soared, yet hate mail arrived. Jamie's restaurant expanded, franchising with pride themes. Success bred envy. A rival chef spread rumors of favoritism. They get breaks because they're gay. Defending their merit, Jamie sued for defamation, winning but at emotional cost. "Why fight every battle?" "Because surrender isn't us," Loisai said. A profound moral dilemma arose when Mateo faced bullying at preschool. "Why two daddies?" a kid taunted. Explaining diversity, Loisai questioned exposure. Shield him or prepare him? They chose openness, enrolling in inclusive programs. Internal conflicts resurfaced. Jamie confessed lingering resentment. "Your family's rejection hurt me too," Loisai acknowledged. "I chose you, but the pain shared." Therapy helped, fostering deeper bonds. Societal shifts influenced. Marriage equality solidified, but trans rights battles raged. Loisai marched, Mateo in tow, teaching him early. Betrayal struck again via an old friend from Chicago, leaking private photos online. Doxing followed, forcing security measures. "Why us?" Loisai despaired. "Visibility has prices," Jamie noted. They pressed charges, winning justice, but scars deepened. As Mateo grew, Loisai reflected on the odyssey, from hidden kisses to open family. Damages tallied. Lost kinships, career detours, psychic wounds. Awakenings countered, self-realization, communal impact, unbreakable love. At a family dinner, Emily apologized fully. I was scared of change. Forgiveness flowed, mending fractures. Yet the story's essence boiled to choices, righteous or erroneous. In quiet moments, Loisai pondered aloud to Jamie. Did we do right, appending everything for this? Jamie smiled. Look at our son. Yes. But the question lingered, inviting debate. Was sacrificing familial harmony for personal authenticity a moral triumph, or a selfish indulgence that inflicted unnecessary pain on all involved?